accept this call, press 5. To refuse this call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Hi.
Hey, how you guys doing?
That was a quick lockup.
Good. Hey, do you have YouTube available right there?
Yeah.
Type in nuclear rifle.
Okay.
And look at that weapon. Tell me the model. I forget the model they use for that.
Nuclear rifle.
Rifle.
What's the model number?
You might have to listen to the video for a minute, but I forget what they call that. There's like an AR-15 rifle, and I forget what the label for it was.
All right, we'll check it out.
I got it up in the other room. You want me to play it? It's like a minute 65. It's like a minute and 30 seconds.
He just wants to know the model number.
Oh.
So the nuclear rifle was a recoilless rifle that they used in World War II because they wanted to, or after World War II. Hang on. I got the guy yelling over the intercom.
Okay.
Developed in the Cold War 60s, the M65. Yes, you heard correctly. This is a nuclear rifle.
This is a M65 155 millimeter recoilless rifle with a .0.
Wow, that's one heck of a rifle, man.
And so what they used that for was they wanted first strike capability in the event of World War III or when there's a nuclear war, right? That's why Russia moved their missiles. We had the Cuban Missile Crisis because they wanted first strike capability in the event that missiles were going to fly. So they used that because it was portable and you could shoot it anywhere, but it only had a range to 3 to 4 miles. But you'll notice when you look at the chemical attack and the first one that happened under Obama with the Syrian rebels or whoever they were, you'll notice it's an American-made weapon. It's the same thing. All they did was replace the warhead with a chemical warhead instead of a nuclear.
Wow.
And so, but the reason it was never used and why it was later put off was because the fallout was too great. At 3 or 4 miles, when you're firing off even a small yield warhead, you're going to have, you're going to be radiated, you're going to have fallout, everything else. So if you watch some of those videos, you'll see after the warhead went off, soldiers are actually running around. They all got cancer during that because they got, you got a gamma ray burst that comes out of a warhead, and it's like getting, or X-ray, and you got X-rays. It's like getting hit with a million bullets, and it's not good for you.
Yeah, right, right.
So I encourage you to look it up. You'll see a stark comparison.
Yeah.
So my question is, how did they get the weapon?
Yeah. So why did you think America wants to get a sod out for the oil? You think that's their main?
I don't know what's going on. I think it's very weird that America is so hard up to get Assad out of there. Now, Assad, I'm not saying he's a good or a bad guy, and I'm not saying, but he does have a secular government where he allows Christians to serve on his panel in his government. So it's not as bad as people think it is.
Yeah.
But what I found awfully odd is when Glenn Beck did his report, and after the first Syrian gas attack happened, there's a weapon there, looks like a weapon that's been provided by the U.S. But we know that America's funding the Free Syrian Army. John McCain admits that on live TV. Remember when John McCain was saying, "Oh, when they're saying Allah Akbar, it's just them praising God in their language." Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like, what the heck is wrong with you?
Yeah. I remember something like that. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, John McCain's went full senile. How did this guy got elected 8 or 9? Was he in 9 terms now? I mean, he is the poster child for term limits.
Yeah, amen to that. Amen to that.
He really should go. But anyway, Glenn Beck did the report and showed the Free Syrian Army guy who was eating the heart and liver. He takes a bite out of it right on camera. Glenn Beck says, "Why are we giving these guys weapons? This is irresponsible to fund these people and do this." And so, why America would side with people like that and fund their war, I have no idea. There's obviously a bigger agenda. Logically, I mean, that's like going into Compton and be like, "Hey, I'm going to give you guys a bunch of warheads and chemical weapons."
Right, right.
any idiot would know. I don't want to give gang members this kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not saying that they don't have a right to bear arms either, but you got to draw the line somewhere. So, but these people are savages, and we're funding them and helping them. And I know war is hell, but anyway, when you research it and you compare it, there's a stark comparison. And that's when I saw the Syrian gas attack. I think even the UN was like, wait a minute. And that's why we never. It was. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, so I don't know if it's over oil or what they found. I guess you could say, what is Syria? What is the deeper agenda in Syria? And ask, what is an available resource out there? Is it oil? Is there gold? Is there silver? And I'm sure you can look it up on Google and find out where they're rich in resources at. Find out where the wars are happening around and the skirmishes, and I guarantee you, it's over-resourced. There would be what other reason would we have? Why are we in Syria? Think about it.
Yeah.
Why would we want to overthrow Assad? What's really going on? Because the region didn't spin into chaos until we started this war on terror. So, I mean, so what about Saddam Hussein? I mean, we put him into power, and then later on we fight him. Oh, he's killing his own people. Well, you didn't know he was going to do that when you put him in there in the first place under the Bush administration.
A couple weeks ago, Rand Paul said that John McCain is the perfect example why they need term limits.
That's what he just said about 30 seconds ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's a warmonger. He's not all there. He's too old. Yeah. I thank him for his service, but when I confronted him, in effect, what he and Obama were doing was treason. I mean, under the code, and I think I stated it, USC 2381.
Yeah, he didn't even respond to you. He just avoided.
Because they know they're doing it. They know they're doing it.
Yeah.
And my guess is that somehow they're brokering deals with corporations, mining corporations, or for gathering of resources, and they're making a lot of money. Because him and Jeff Flake just did that under the NDAA in Arizona to take the sacred Apache land. Remember, the Australian corporation came in there to mine it for copper, and the Apaches were very upset about that, and they were going to D.C. and having huge demonstrations and protests. Then they got oil in the water there, and the Navajo reservation, and so there's more going on. And what I think is, what the media does is say, they show a picture of a bunch of kids getting killed, and it sensationalize it. And then everybody in America goes, oh my gosh, those evil son of a guns, let's go kill them. Well, what about America and all their drone strikes and all the citizens they killed? What about WikiLeaks? Chelsea Manning, even though guy's a goofball, or whatever, with his little sex change deal, but I gotta admit, I gotta hand it to them for releasing that footage of them plugging journalists. I mean, something deeper is going on here, and it's not good. I think America is being set up.
Well, you know who Paul Joseph Watson is, right?
No.
He's the young guy over in England from InfoWars who does top-notch reporting.
Uh-huh.
He's really mad about this Trump attack.
About Trump going in there and using this as a means to get intervention in Syria?
Yeah, and he doesn't see any reason for it, and then all the...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's sad. A bunch of kids died. It's a horrible thing. And may God have mercy on the people who delivered the act. But, hey, you know what? If America wasn't screwing around like they were in the Middle East, it would never happen. We engineered it by our intervention anyway.
Yeah.
And I get it. I'm all for defeating evil and going in there and wiping out savages and establishing better control and freeing the people. But they obviously don't want to be freed.
No. I personally have no interest in anything outside the United States, and that might be ignorant of me, but we have our own problems here.
Exactly. And that's why I don't understand about the health care bill. You know, people are like, well, how are we going to fund the health care bill? Well, if we weren't giving billions and billions of dollars to countries that want to wipe us off the map through foreign aid, we could fund health care and a lot of other things. The money is already there. Use it for our own people.
You know how much this attack cost? It was something like $1.5 million, and they sent per tomahawk, and they sent 59. So that's like $60 million.
But why would we send that? Did we send that to the Free Syrian Army? Who got those weapons? Huh?
$90 million last night on a tomahawk.
Right. Who got those weapons? So that's what I want to know.
Yeah.
They don't tell you who they sent the weapons to, did they?
No, but
I almost guarantee you it went to the Free Syrian Army, which would be Al Qaeda and other factions that they're not good people.
Yeah.
And all they're doing is throwing in another regime that's going to be oppressive.
Yep. And all the people are.
But I found another weird thing is how these are all interconnected to the World Bank.
Yeah. And all the people that are coming out happy today are Trump's enemies.
Huh.
Like Nancy Pelosi, she's thrilled. She's so happy that he did it.
Why?
Well,
because they want their World War III.
Yeah, and one thing
you have to go back to. Have you seen the video called "The March to Armageddon"? Megiddo, the March to Armageddon.
No.
Watch those. It's part 1 and 2. It is uncanny how parallel these events are to the Bible, but they go over a lot of this stuff, and they go over in the second part. They go over secret societies and talk about Albert Pike and how they wanted 3 world wars to get people so sick of war that they wouldn't want a war anymore, and they'll just submit to an antichrist. And they already got 2 wars completed, and now we need a 3rd one. But so World War II, right? I thought there's a book out there called Financial Tyranny by David Wilcox, and I haven't had a chance to read it, and I hope I get a chance to read it. But I read a little bit of some of the stuff he went through, and the guy is not religious, but he does make a strong argument about. He knocks the Bible in his book. I had to throw the book down; it was just too secular for me. But he did make a good argument and presented good evidence on how this is all connected to the Federal Reserve, BIS, and other international bankers. But so 1941. Or December 7, 1941, you had the Cower attack from Japan, which took out our Navy and effectively brought us into World War II, which lasted from 1941 to 1945. What they don't tell you is prior to that, Japan invaded North Korea and raided their gold vaults between 1920s and the 1930s. And that gold went to America. But in World War II, we raided all the gold vaults, and Germany gave us all their gold to hold on to them into the Federal Reserve. Which is weird because just recently, and Glenn Beck did a really good report on this, talked about how Germany asked the Federal Reserve to see their gold. They wanted to see it to make sure it was there. They refused to let them see it, and Germany says, we want our gold back. Well, what they found was they got their gold back at a lower purity, meaning they were skimming off, and it looks like they got gold that belonged to a different country.
Wow.
And look this up. It was huge news, and Germany was pissed. And why they have every right to be, and so if America is that bankrupt, then we're giving gold to the other people's gold to other countries because we can't cover the debt, and they didn't get the amount of gold that they put in there. They got because they sent some back, but it wasn't a lot.
A small fraction.
Exactly. Something deep is going on, and I can only imagine because of the economic collapse and because the world's lost the ability to absorb the debt. That you got to have resources to pay it off. You can't pay it with paper money and bonds. There's nothing there to back it.
So you're not allowed to have any books? Does anybody have any books? Is there a library or anything?
No. I could write the library. I might be able to get some of these books, so I'm going to try. But I don't know. But I think this is weird that. The same scenario, it's the same. Look at the parallels. The same thing happened under the Obama administration with Syria, didn't it?
Yep.
And now it's happening under Trump. The same scenario.
Yep.
Exactly. So do you want me honestly to believe thought this is isolated event. Oh, well, we couldn't do it under Obama, so we'll put a white guy back in power, and we'll have the same scenario, and then we can get intervention in Syria because it'll upset the public.
Somebody said that Donald Trump is a 33-degree Mason, and his wife is a Catholic who may be related somehow to Jesuits. And another theory is that he did this decisive strike because nothing to do with Syria, but that he wanted to strike fear into the heart of China and North Korea.
Well, and that's really stupid. Do you want me to believe that America can survive a war and its economic distress against Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, and other nations that are going to be in a coalition against America? Who's our allies now? I mean, Obama and others have destroyed our relations with other countries so bad. Who's going to be our ally? Japan? They're going to help us in a war against that? It's not. I don't think that's going to work out well for us.
No, it sounds like end times.
And not saying that I want to side with enemies. I respect Putin. I think he's a good leader for his country. But
wow, he just got cut off.
Not covered.
He just got cut off in mid-sentence.
Yeah, somebody listening didn't like Putin, maybe.
I don't know.